welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland. And today's video is something a little bit different. In some of my show videos that we've been doing, you may have seen me on the back of the 1959 Fordson Power Major, and in today's video I'm with AKR channel historian and knower of all facts, and we're actually away to repair the wing here because you can see the corrosion that's occurred over the years. I think the water runs down inside this channel here and collects at the bottom, causing this corrosion. So basically what we're about to do is use some new steel plates here and repair the wing on this adventure. So just get ready for the action, folks. This is mad. We've got to operate the welder and the compressor. We've actually got a twin diesel engine here, folks, a Lister Dursley England, and this is similar to the engine that we saw in the fishing boat at the abandoned harbour of Auchmithie recently. Because on that engine at Auchmithie we can actually see the decompression levers, and here they are in action. Quality British made diesel engine, and we're using it for the generator function, which is obviously on it.
It could do with a wash and a paint.
Yeah, it's just about needing the restoration, folks, the engine there. And it's very rare that you see the Fordson Major here with the wheel off it. Normally at the shows you see them in their full glory, but this is what goes on behind the scenes, folks. Often when you own a vintage tractor, there's little maintenance jobs and little things just to keep it ticking over.
Just in case you get roost in
So first, folks, I'm about to prep the surface here with the grinder, and I'm going to just go around the edge here for welding on the plate. I need a clean surface here for getting the weld on. And I actually know somebody called Andy who's like one of the top blacksmiths in Scotland. Shout out Andy, and you'll be judging my work here for sure again when you watch this video. But we're actually away to repair this structure here with this a bit of metal similar to whatever this is here. We'll have to trim it and cut it. This bit's probably not going to be big enough for this section though, but we'll see, because we could do it in sections, bend it round. It's fun doing a bit of metal work on the video, folks. Here we go, folks. Classic engine, Lister, getting fired up from the starting handle right here. Close.
Close.
We got a bit of rake at the
hasn't been started
chimney.
for about a year.
Hasn't been started for a year, folks. See how he's working these decompression levers right here. Flicking over. It's close.
It's close.
It's getting a bit of heat into those cylinders.
It's going to go, I think.
Diesel will always ignite once there's more heat there for it to combust. And that's what you hate to do. See, often would there not have been potentially a lever linking both those?
It would, but with this one it's easier to
do one at a time.
Yeah. Push for nearly
Here,
there.
will I have a shot?
You should go.
Yes! That's it, folks. Beautiful. Lister Dursley twin diesel engine, folks. What year is that? For 1970s?
Yeah.
1970s unit right there, folks. There we go, folks. Now I'm going to use the die grinder attachment here. We're going to clean up these little hard to get areas here with the die grinder. So yeah, that's the next plan of action, folks. And what a nice purr off that Lister twin diesel. Just think that's the noise that you used to get on the old fishing boats and stuff when they were purring out, picking up their lobster pots and stuff like that. Also, farms used to use engines like this for powering water pumps and malls and other interesting items. So there, folks, AKR's doing the little bit in between all those little nooks and crannies. The die grinder's just perfect for getting at. I can actually hear the note of the the note of the lister changing as the generator kicks in, the compressor I mean. There we go folks, we've now prepped the job right here so we can switch off the old lister generator, and just look at this, we've now cleaned up around where we need to make the welds when we put the plates on. So now we need to get the pieces of metal and trim them to the right shape before we assemble the metal onto the wing. So let's get into the action once again. So here folks, I'm now cutting out the sections of metal that I'm going to use to make the repair, and you can see that I've got a special shape here, and that's designed so that I can build the pieces of metal around the shape of the wing to keep its original shape. Right folks, I've now got my sections of metal cut out here, and I'm away to start welding them into position here. So I've now got the welder yoke here, and we're going to use the MIG. The 160T is coming out of the shed folks, and we're going to get this MIG'd right on here. So there you go folks. It was actually quite thin, and because the welder was on a higher setting it blew a little hole through, but what I did was I put it on a lower setting and I just filled it just by blasting it, a little blast at a time. I think that's the way I'm going to weld this whole thing on, just tack it all the way around, one little spot at a time. But yeah, it's going to look alright when we're finished I think. It looks filler off there where I had to fill in the hole, but yeah, let's continue the weld folks. Okay folks, we used that engine to get the power for the welder. AKR is going to record me welding here folks. So there we go folks, I've got my first bit welded on now, and it's more for the structural strength of the tractor and the wing rather than the beauty of it. It's obviously not the most perfect weld, but then out in these conditions the wind's blowing away the welding gas and stuff like that. So we're just away to now make this secondary panel for this side. So check it out folks, I've now tacked this weld. I just went around doing little spots all the way around. You can see this is the original two that I put on, and then I made this separate one out of the single piece which I've shaped and I've bent, and then this is the strong weld onto the thick bit, whereas this other weld I've just tacked it to the original wing. And already with the unit you can see it's getting a lot more rigid at the back. You can see how the front's still flexing. Yeah, so let's make this secondary piece. I've already drawn around this, so I've already got the shape that I need. Now I just need to bend the next piece the opposite way and transfer it to this side. But first I'm going to put the thicker pieces on here for the structure, the structural integrity of the wing folks. That's what we're dealing with. So here we go folks, job update. You can see what I've done here. I've used the tidier metal on the inside here and bent it round to get that right angle and get the strength. And then I've copied the panel here on this side, and I've basically just gone around and welded it on the whole way around. but unfortunately the generator just kicked off there and stopped producing electricity, so AKR is now investigating the situation here to see what is going on.
He is.
Right folks, we've just looked at the internals of the generator and then we've realised that it must be something to do with the drive coupling. It's no longer driving between the engine and the generator, so we're just waiting to nick off this panel with these little flathead screws right here, and then we'll get this show on the road. Once again, it's typical, we've only got like 3 inches of metal to weld and then the welder stops working. That's life. So check this out folks, we just discovered this little drive coupling had slid back, so we just had to loosen the grub screw here and then slide it that way, tighten everything up, and the welding job will be continuing. Successful. That was a good repair. It was easier fixing the coupling probably than any of the internals on the motor at this stage of the day here. Check it out folks, look how heavy the rain has just come on here. So we're just sheltering from the rain. Unfortunately all the tools and stuff, we've managed to kind of get them into the shelter a bit, but yeah, this is Scotland for you. 1 minute the sun can be shining, next minute heavy rain, but I've got the welding finished now, so we're okay. I just basically need to get a paint and then we'll put the wheel back on and that'll be it, job done. Ready for Glenila show, which is actually next weekend folks. First Sunday in August at Glenila. Check this out folks, we've now done the repair, carried it out fully, and I've just given it a paint with some Land Rover blue, which was the nearest thing we had just now. But at least it stops it from corroding, stops the weather from getting to it. And just check it out, you can kind of see the repair looks no bad now that we've got a lick of paint on it. You can see how I just had to stitch the patches onto the wing, but there we go, it's a lot more firm now and rigid. The bottom half, you can see it's not moving about at all. So yeah, there we go folks, now we'll get the wheel on, and that's been a successful little repair. This video is unusual because often you don't see the maintenance of tractors on this channel. Right folks, we've now got the wheel back on the old Fordson Major here, and as you can see, the repair in there has made it structurally sound once again. Now when I hit the wing, it's no longer flapping about and it's no longer going to fall off on the highway. When we're up some of those glens on some of those wild roads, it's good to ken that your wing's not going to fall off on the bumps. Anyway, it's been something different in this episode folks. Some vintage tractor action and some repairs on the 1959 Fordson Major. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with the next adventure, wherever I end up going.